I'm delighted to be joined by Oisin Murphy, our regular YouTube guest midweek. Oisin, it's a busy one coming up, but first let's just reflect on Winlaw because you said you were looking forward to him and in the last video, and he won really nicely at York on Sunday.
Yeah, it was great that he put it all together, Ben. His work had been really smart with some of the better two-year-olds, the likes of New Century, Royal Playwright, Tropical Storm, Cool Hoof Luke. He's able to hold his own with all of them. So we obviously had to wait a little bit for him to catch on and break his maiden, but I was delighted with what he did late on at York.
What are the plans for him?
I'm unsure. I didn't actually discuss it with Andrew, but I would imagine he'll step up to pattern class, and maybe the autumn stakes at Newmarket would fit in well.
Okay. Well, a really busy weekend coming up, and you're missing St. Ledger Day to ride New Century in the Grade 1 Summer Stakes over at Woodbine in Canada. Just tell us about this challenge.
Yeah, it's obviously unfortunate to miss such a big day at Doncaster and miss Sunway, but New Century is by Cameco, and we're delighted what he did in the Stonehenge. And obviously, Luther, who was second to him, went and won the Ascendant at Haydock. So we think he deserves his place. Al Qudra, who's actually beaten New Century, is the likely favourite. Hopefully, New Century is still on the up, but we obviously respect the Godolphin horse. It's a race worth $500,000, Group 1 over a mile. It's a win and you're in for the Breeders' Cup. It really makes sense for the horse. So I've picked up two others there as well. Filly for Chad Brown in the Natalma Stakes. And then I've picked up the French filly Blush for Wertheimer and Callas Lafon Perrier in the EP Taylor. So Godolphin will have a really strong hand in most of the big races on the card. I'd expect William Buick to have a good day there, but hopefully I can get the best results possible.
Yeah, sounds like a quick fire trip. Obviously, riding at Doncaster on Friday and the Curragh on Sunday. Just how do you deal with such a quick trip to Canada and back?
Yeah, I've done it before, so I'm kind of aware of what it's going to be like. Obviously, I have to manage my weight well. They have lightweights in Canada, but I basically land. It's quite close to Toronto Airport, Woodbine racetrack. So land, go straight to the races, probably sweat for a while, have a wander of the track and ride my couple of races. And then William and I are flying back together. And hopefully on paper, we'll have plenty of time to get to the Curragh. And I'll have a few rides maybe on Sunday at the Curragh, but the main one is obviously Giavellotto in the Irish St. Ledger. He's a very good horse, and he's been foot perfect so far this season.
He certainly has. I think he probably showed a different side to himself last time, didn't he, when winning over a mile and a half? But we know how effective he is over a mile and three quarters. But the big question is, do you think he can beat Kyprios in his own backyard?
I hope so. I mean, Giavellotto has plenty of pace. He was always comfortable the other day at Newmarket. And, he had a penalty and he was still very strong through the line. And he's relaxing great. So hopefully he'll race with his normal manners, drop the bridle for me. And yeah, he was push button the last twice. So if he's the same, then he's really a horse that I've been looking forward to for months.
Yeah, I bet. Big weekend on New Century and Giavellotto. Actually, before we get into your Doncaster rides, I'm just going to ask you about a couple of races you're not riding in because they are fascinating contests. Firstly, I'm sure you'll have a keen eye on the St. Ledger with Sunway running. Just how do you think it'll pan out at Doncaster on Saturday?
Yeah, I think there'll be plenty of pace on. I actually really respect Grosvenor Square and what he did on his last start. Thought he set a relentless gallop and he managed to keep quickening. I thought it was an extraordinary performance. I know the field behind him may not have been super strong, but I actually said to Ryan Moore, if I had the choice of Aiden's three, he'd be the one I'd pick. So maybe I've got it all wrong. Sunway felt super.
You said that.
No, he was actually unsure which one was the best. He thought maybe Jan Bruegel was still a little bit green and babyish, but maybe he could be the one with the most improvement, and he'll certainly stay the way he races. But Sunway feels super, and I thought his run in the King George could be upgraded because he met interference on the turn. He'll definitely stay, and yeah, it's a very interesting race, albeit it isn't a big field.
Talking of Ryan Morrison, it's a big race at Leopardstown on Saturday as well, the Irish Champion Stakes. He's on August Rodan, of course, but it's a big head-to-head, one of the big showdowns of the season, really, with Economics running for William Haggis. Who would you rather be on out of those two big guns?
Well, August Rodan will be suited. Hopefully, the ground stays fast at Leopardstown, but he can make his own look, and he's very, very tough horse to pass when he gets into that forward bowling rhythm. I thought Economics could be upgraded for what he did in Deauville. I thought he gave a very good marker in J. Arabi, a little bit of a start, and Tom didn't panic, and he ran him down and was strong right the way through the line. So maybe Economics has the most upside. He obviously gets weight as well because he's a 3-year-old. So for me, I'd like to stay with Economics in the hope that he's the new superstar.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Should be a good weekend in Ireland. But it's good action at Doncaster on Thursday and Friday as well. And we'll just finish the video by going through a few of your rides because you've got a really strong book on paper on day one, including Night Sparkle in the Park Hill.
Yeah, she's one of the highest rated in the field. She's been unfortunate not to win this season. She's put up some very good runs. I hope the ground stays nice. She enjoys kind of a top of the surface, and yeah, I'd be really delighted if she could break her maiden for Andrew and her new owner Barbara Keller.
Yeah, I guess she's been so consistent, hasn't she, since coming to the yard? But you still, like you say, still to win a race.
Yeah, I thought I moved and got to the front too soon at York last time. Should have held on to her for longer. It's a tough race. I thought Mistral Star is a good, hardy filly that could put up a career best. Scenic, I rode to win last time at listed level. I think she'll stay and she'll enjoy the sort of race with the pace running in front of her. Look, it's a competitive Park Hill, but Night Sparkle should go very close.
And in the May Hill, you're on Flight for Ollie Sangster.
Yeah, really love this filly. Was delighted with the cruising speed she showed at Sandown. Albeit she slowed up in the last 2 furlongs, but I don't think that's her ideal track either. I think a mile here, I don't have to lead on her, could hold on to her a little bit. She's always trained with all these best fillies, and he has some smart ones. So yeah, I'm really excited about her, to be honest. I think she has a big future.
Yeah, and a couple of big chances in the nurseries as well on Spellmaster and Best Adventure.
Yeah, we felt Spellmaster is a little bit lazy, so he's going to get cheap pieces on, and hopefully that can make him focus. Best Adventure, I think, is well handicapped off 75. And if you ask me a horse that, in the 70s that I most like at the moment, it would be him. He isn't a superstar, but he's a very he's a gentleman to ride. He's trying. He'll improve for going a mile. He'll improve for a flat track, and I hope he's just learning and filling into that frame all the time.
Finally, Shane, Friday, day 2 at Doncaster, a couple of really big rides, including Tropical Storm in the Flying Childers.
Yeah, he's probably the most important one for me. I'm surprised he's not a shorter price. I thought he just waited for the others late on at York, and his gallop out after the line when he should have been empty was strong. So off the feeling, I fancy him. He's trained since York, and he's moving well, which is the most important thing. It's actually a deep field, and I'm drawn a little bit from main other market contenders, Big Mojo and Asterius there, but he doesn't need to be dragged about, and he didn't over race at any stage at York like he did at Goodwood. So provided he does things the right way, I think he's a serious horse, yeah.
And what about Coltrane in the Doncaster Cup?
I saw him walk past me this morning, and I promise you, he marched like he was a young lion in the jungle. I think if he's ever going to bounce back, and he needs to, it could be in the Doncaster Cup. He obviously likes the track. Small field, 6 runners. I thought James might make plenty use of Gregory. Be nice to have a target to aim at, and yeah, hopefully Coltrane can piece it together.
Finally, Sheen, is there anything else Friday you're looking forward to? I see you're on Subsequent in the Mallard, horses like that.
Yeah, Subsequent has a chance, but he's gone up in the weights again. You know, he just wears his heart in his sleeve. He tries really hard. He found the ground too fast at Goodwood, but you know, I don't think it's a really, really hot race, you know, for a race that is quite prestigious. So, you know, I'd be hopeful he can go well. And I do like Rare Change. He's another one in the 70s, but he has headgear on. If he tries and gets the right sort of trip, he should be able to defy his mark.
Stuff. Well, thanks again for joining us, Sheen, and best of luck on your travels this weekend.
Thank you very much, Ben.